Oh boy, this shit banging.
What's up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel for another video. If you guys are new here, then thank you so much for joining us, and if you're not new here, then thank you so much for coming back. I know it's been a little while since I've posted a video for you guys, but honestly I have just been feeling a little bit unmotivated and my camera equipment was giving me a hard time. So now that I've fixed that and I've got a new camera, which I'm filming on right now, so let me know if you guys like this. Yeah, now I've got some content for you guys, and what I've done here today is just, this is the look that I wore to girls' night a few weeks ago, and I really liked it and everybody else really liked it. And it's kind of Pamela Anderson 90s vibe inspired, so I just thought I'd kind of give that a go and do kind of like a, mine's not, Pamela Anderson does like gray, blue, smoky eyes, but I don't really wear those colors, so I went for a brown, kind of brown black tones and just kind of did a little updo. So if you guys are interested in achieving this look, then please just keep watching. And yeah, let's get into it. I hope you guys like it. Okay, so we're gonna start off with just a big clip, and then you're gonna need some bobby pins, hairspray, and an edge comb. And as you can see, I'm starting off with like third day hair. It's not fresh, it's already been kind of like pre-curled. And then I'm gonna take my 1/2 inch, what is this? Bed head, my 1/2 inch bed head curling wand. And what I'm doing is curling each piece the opposite way. So some towards my face, some away from my face. And that's just how I would curl my hair normally, so I chose to do it like that for this situation as well. And so now what I'm doing is just sectioning off the fronts of my hair, and I'm not doing it like super neat or anything like that. Honestly, I, as you can tell, don't even use a comb to like part my hair at all. But I'm just taking the fronts and I'm gonna be separating those and pinning them up with a little plastic clip. What you can do is also use a bobby pin if you don't have a clip like this. Cute girl. And then I'm just going back in and finishing curling my hair on the other side. I'm not really sure why I chose to separate the bang pieces in the middle of everything, but yeah. So I'm just finishing up doing the curls, some away, some towards my face. And now I'm just hairspraying it to lock it all in so that it doesn't fall, because otherwise it would be pointless of us curling our hair. Okay, and so now what I'm gonna do is take the pieces that are like closest to my ear, and I'm gonna be pinning them back and up towards the crown of my head. I hope that makes sense. And then I'm gonna repeat on the other side. I'm gonna take the pieces by my ear and just pin them back and up towards the crown of my head and just securing it with a bobby pin. And you're gonna want it to sit with like a little bit of volume, kind of create a bump almost. I don't know, I just felt like it needs a little volume there, so you'll want to create that little bump. And it doesn't have to be perfect or even. As you can see, mine is neither of those things. Now I'm just sectioning out some other pieces by my ear, and then taking some from the back to leave out as well. This is gonna help just create that kind of effortless, messy look. So as you can see, I'm taking some more pieces out the back, and you would want to curl those also if they're not already. Mine are kind of like half done. And so now I'm just twisting my hair up to put it in that large clip, the little butterfly clip, large butterfly clip, I think that's what you would call it. As you can see, it's a little lopsided here, but that's just me trying to show you guys how I lock it in and the placement. And so now I'm just going in and trying to kind of play with it a little bit, see how I like it. I took the bang pieces down, and then I decided that I didn't like it because it wasn't sitting high enough. So I decided to start over and just move it up a little bit higher, because it's supposed to look like more of an updo, you know. And then securing that with the clip again, and as you can see, it sits kind of closer to the top of my head, which is the look that I was going for. And now I'm just kind of like separating pieces, but I'm also bobby pinning some pieces to the front of my hair to create a look like there's hair sitting on top of my head also. I don't know if that makes any sense. This would be good to do if you had some extensions. I feel like it would make it look a little bit more like full, the hair. Next time I will do this with extensions and keep you guys posted. As you can see here, I'm just pinning up these side pieces. I did the other side, and now I'm doing this side, and I'm pinning those up as well, kind of towards the crown of my head, but on the side, and just locking it in with a bobby pin. And what that's doing is creating some longer pieces. So you have the shorter pieces at the top, and then you have the side pieces that are a little bit longer, and it's gonna create almost like, not layers, but I guess layers, because some pieces are shorter, some pieces are longer. And I split the bang pieces in half because it was just a little much, and I'm going to be pinning those back as well. And then I just repeat that same process on the other side, split the bang piece and pin that back. And this is just adding to that messy look. It still looks nice, it's still put together, but we have those pieces that are just kind of hanging, and it creates like this effortless mess. And now I'm just kind of fluffing it out, playing with it. I finally got the style that I was going for, so now I'm just gonna go back in with my curling wand and just recurl some of the pieces that may have fallen flat. And then I'm just going back in on the back pieces as well and curling those so that they look curled and just kind of more put together. It is a messy look, but it is also supposed to kind of be put together. The hair and the makeup that I'm doing for this video are inspired by Pamela Anderson and her iconic early 2000s 90 looks. And now I'm just locking everything in again with hairspray, and I'm going back in with my edge comb, and I'm just laying down those baby hairs. I have a lot of baby hairs that frame the front of my face, and so it's really important that I go back in and spray them down with hairspray and secure them with bobby pins. Otherwise, I just have a bunch of like stray hairs sticking out. And then I go in and do it on the other side as well. And that is the look, you guys. Well, the hair look. So I hope you guys like the hair. I hope it wasn't too confusing the way that I'm explaining it. Okay, so now I'm just gonna take some little metal clips and pin the fronts of my hair back. I got these clips at the beauty supply store and they come in handy. They come in a pack of like 20 or 30. They're amazing. They keep the hair out of your face so that you can do makeup in peace. So this is my first inspo pic, and then a picture of Pamela Anderson herself. We're also inspiring this look on her. I'm starting off with my L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer in the shade 370 Biscuit, and this is just acting as a primer and a base to neutralize the color on my eyes. And I'm gonna take my beauty blender and just blend that out, apparently really roughly. Like, why am I doing it so rough? I'm just gonna blend that out on both eyes and make sure that all of the veins and discoloration are gone. And then once I'm done blending out the eyes, I'm gonna take my Maybelline Fit Me powder in the shade 15 Light. And I really like this powder as a, okay, of course I dropped it. I really like this powder as a translucent setting powder. It's really good for keeping everything locked in all day because I tend to sweat a lot, and that tends to be the reason why my makeup gets messed up. But so I just set my eyes with the translucent powder, and then I'm going to start off with my Truth or Bare Morphe palette. And I don't know the names of the shades. I'm really sorry, but starting with the brown shade in the top second to right corner, just taking that in the crease and buffing that out with a little buffing brush. And I kind of just go back in on both eyes. And I just apply more until I feel like it's showing up enough and as like deep and pigmented as I want it to be. And I just go back in on the other side as well, as you can see. And then I take my I Love Sephora palette, and what I'm doing here is just taking this little flat headed brush and taking the black shade in this palette and putting it in the crease and like the outside corner of my eye to kind of create a wing, but also create depth in the creases of my eye. And I'm putting it on quite messily. It doesn't have to be too neat, because what we're going to do is go back in and buff it out into the crease as well and kind of around the eye. And so as you can see here, I'm taking a little brown shade out of that same palette and just using that to help buff out the black in the crease and on the outside of the eye. and just buff, buff, buff until it's like smooth and doesn't look all patchy how it did whenever we first put it in. And I repeat the same thing on the other side as well until they look pretty even. Buff, 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 buff. And you know, it's one of those things you just have to like keep doing it over and over again until you get the desired look you achieve. And I always have to like go in and wipe it off at the top and on the sides. So now I'm just going to take a small flat brush and I'm taking my Pro Concealer and just putting it on the lid of my eye, and that's also going to act as a base because I'm going to put a lighter shade of eyeshadow on top of it, and it's almost like I guess it could be like a cut crease, but it's going to be kind of blurred out a little bit, or blended out, not blurred out, blended out. And so I'm just taking that lighter shade in the palette as well and tapping that on, kind of packing that on to set the concealer and set that lighter shade on the lid of the eye. Then I'm going to take my Tartelette in Bloom palette, and in that palette I'm taking the shade Flower Child and just putting that over the shade that I had previously used to just set it. And then I'm going back in with my blending brush to just buff it out and kind of blur any hard lines. And now I'm going to get started on eyeshadow because, as you can see, I repeated it on the other side. So I'm going in with my L'Oreal True Match Lumi in the shade W6 Warm, and I'm also mixing that together with my CoverGirl True Blend Matte Made in the shade D10. And I mix those together on the back of my hand and then just go in with a foundation brush and apply it all over my face. And I start off with a pretty thin layer and just kind of work my way around the face and buff it out. I tend to avoid my forehead area because it's always a little bit darker than the rest of my face, but I do end up putting some foundation on just so that it's not two different shades on my face. And as you can see, this first layer is pretty light. And I'm just applying it all over my forehead as well, as you can see, just to kind of even out my skin tone and so that my forehead and the rest of my face are not two completely different colors. And now I'm just going back in with a second layer because I did want a little bit more coverage for this look since it is for a night out. We want to look our best in our pictures and videos and just look hot. And don't forget to buff out into your neck as well, ladies. So now I'm just going in with my large beauty blender. I'm just going back over the skin to kind of push everything into the skin and make sure that everything is seamless. And now I'm going in with my concealers. I'm using the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer in the shade Deep Caramel. And then I'm going over that in those spots like under my eyes, my nose, my chin, and my forehead with the Bobbi Brown Instant Full Cover Concealer, and this is in the shade Warm Beige, and I'm using that to kind of brighten those spots up because we do want them to be just a little bit lighter than the other places. And I'm just going back in with my beauty blender and blending that out until it's pretty seamless, zooming in so that you guys can see it a little bit better. And I like to use the pointy side like on the inside corner of my eye, and then when I get to the edge on the outside, I kind of turn it on its flat side so that I don't mess up the makeup that I've done with the eyeshadow. And I just find that it helps keep everything looking really nice. Just blend, blend, blend. And then I'm going to use that same Maybelline Fit Me powder in the shade 15 Light, and I'm just going to set my under eyes because my under eyes crease so bad. I definitely have to set them every single time. There's no concealer in the world that would keep me from setting my under eyes, so I'm just going in with that pretty lightly. I don't really bake, I just kind of lightly set it because I don't like the idea of flashback. So now I'm going in with my brown liner. It's just a NYX liner. It's the NYX Professional Makeup Retractable Eyeliner in the shade brown. And I'm doing this in a pretty messy way. It doesn't have to be too neat. It's just, the idea of it is just to get the liner on the lid. And then I'm gonna go in with an angled brush and smudge that out. And I'm just gonna be smudging that out into a light wing. I wish I wasn't blocking everything and had it out of focus, but you know, you win some, you lose some. And then I do the same thing on the other eye as well, and I just start in the inner corner and just smudge outwards. Have to have a jam sesh, that's a given. Now we're gonna move on to the eyelashes. Just gonna curl these bad boys because they need curling for sure. And then I'm just taking my Essence Get Big Lashes Volume Boost Mascara. I don't even know where I got this. I'm pretty sure I got this maybe at Target or something. It's a pretty solid mascara. I don't love it, but it's the only one I have for some reason, and we've been making it work. And so now what I'm gonna do is go in on my eyebrows, and the eyebrow pencil that I'm using is a brand called Knit Cack New York. I also got this at the beauty supply store for a very inexpensive price, and it works wonders. It has it's the actual like pencil on one side and then the spoolie on the other side. So what I like to do is just go in and kind of lightly fill my brows in and shape them in the way that I like, which is kind of pointy with a little arch, and add some tail. And then I'll go back in with the spoolie and just brush them out. And now that I've brushed them out, I am just going in with my NYX The Brow Glue. And this stuff is amazing. I just like to apply it, brush my eyebrows up, and kind of spread them out. And then I go back in with the spoolie on my eyebrow pencil, brush them all the way up, and then I kind of straighten the hairs, lay them down, and just shape them to my liking. And that way my brows aren't like super overdone, but at the same time I'm not, walking around with no eyebrows. And then I'm just going in and I'm going to be applying my lashes. I wish I could tell you guys what lashes these are. I really don't know. I kind of just leave my lashes lying around, and that's kind of irresponsible of me, but it is what it is. And I'm using the Star Glue from the beauty supply store, of course. Another jam sesh. I'm probably listening to Drake. And just waiting for these to dry because, you know, gotta wait a minute for the glue to get tacky. But once it's tacky, then it's on and poppin'. So trying to put these on, this was probably the worst, as you can see, I'm already struggling, the worst attempt to put on lashes. I usually don't struggle this hard. I think it was the pressure of making the video, it had to be, because this is just like terrible. I am struggling so bad. Eyelash glue everywhere. Lashes not even on. Terrible. But you know what happens? You make it work. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to make it work. So just kind of push them in, tack them down, squish them together, make the duck lips until it looks good. And I completed the rest of the face off of camera just because this look is kind of more centered on the eyes, the eyebrows, and the hair, and my camera was also dying. But as you can see, I've added blush, contour, and then I went in and completed the other eye by putting my other eyelash on. And this one wasn't quite as bad as the first eye, but definitely still some struggle there. And now we're moving on to the lips. So I'm just wiping my lips clean and going in with my NYX lip liner in the color brown, SPL 802 lip pencil. And I just line my lips, kind of overline them just a tad. And then I'm going in with my MAC lipstick in the shade Luster 884. I don't even know if they make this. I've had this since, this is the lipstick that I used for prom senior year 6 years ago. And then I went in with my Milani Soft Rose shade, and then it was a little bit much, so I had to take some off. Just go back in, reline the lips, and then I'm topping it all off with my NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Praline. And that is the look, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Also, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe because that really helps out my channel. I have reached my first goal of 100 subscribers, which is a small milestone to some, but to me it's a really, really big deal. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you to everybody who's subscribed to my channel. I can't wait to keep putting out content for you guys, and I'm looking forward to hitting more goals and hopefully being able to reach 1,000 subscribers. I'm not sure how long that's going to take because this took a really long time, but you know, that's okay. I'm thankful and grateful. So yes, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.